School Trustees meeting to order. If you're able, will you please stand as we take a moment of silence and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. No one has signed up for patron concerns, so next we have student recognition. Dr. Redmond, will you introduce our highly exceptional student?
I sure will. Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Tonight, we're excited to welcome Mr. Tyler Schmidt, who is a senior at Castle High School. Tyler had the opportunity to compete in the High School Business Day Case and Scholarship Challenge at USI. So basically that day consisted of several activities. It looks like there were a record number of high school students there this year at 195 from 13 different schools. Throughout the day, the students had the opportunity to be around other USI business students and alumni who are now working in various business-related fields. And they also had the opportunity to compete in a set of challenges. So I'm going to have Tyler talk with us about what those challenges were, because he's the big winner. So I'd like for him to explain what he did, and then we can have him come and shake everyone's hands.
How's it going, everybody? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those competitions I competed in. So last year, I actually competed in the accounting test. Essentially, it's a really long test. I was in there for about an hour. It's around 100 questions. I competed in it last year. Highest score got to take home a $1,000 scholarship. I was able to win that last year. Came back this year, competed in the same one. Was able to win it again for a second year in a row. So got a couple scholarships in the bag for college next year, which is awesome, to USI. And then this year I took on the other competition, which was a case study. Basically what they did is they gave us financials of a business. And from there, the business asked us to find an expansion plan for it. And it was up to us to be able to figure out how to accomplish the business's goals without running it into the ground. And we had to put together a presentation and present it in front of a board of judges. Some of them were accountants, some were students. I got to present in front of the business teacher that's out there in finance. You're supposed to compete in a group, but I didn't have anyone else from Castle at that competition, so I competed by myself and presented and managed to get first place in that one too. So that got me $750 cash, and then I got $250 towards the school as well. So that's a little bit about the competitions.
Very good.
Outstanding.
Very good. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. Keep it up.
Thanks so much.
Great work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How fun. Keep it up. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Yes, thanks.
Next, we have a guest speaker. Dr. Redmond, will you introduce our guest?
Yes, we have two guests with us here tonight from CenterPoint Energy, Sonia Fenwick and Jill Barrett.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Jill Barrett, and I manage our energy efficiency programs at CenterPoint. And then I'll let Sonia introduce herself.
I'm Sonia Fenwick. I work for Resource Innovations, and we manage the CenterPoint Energy Commercial Rebate or Incentive Program.
So we're excited to be here tonight to present a check to you for some of the work that you did in 2025 with us. So a lot of the upgrades that you made to your facilities included some new kitchen equipment, some HVAC replacements, and a lot of lighting work. And that work totaled $175,844 in incentives that we were able to give you back for that work and upgrades that you did in those buildings. The work hasn't stopped there, I will admit. Sonia has been very busy. Already here in 2026, we've paid out $68,000 in incentives for work that you guys are continuing to do in the buildings. And some of that is building automation system upgrades, it's HVAC replacements, it's chiller replacements, and then some new construction items. So, we have a lot of activity going on. Sonia can talk just briefly about some of that upcoming work. But again, our goal is to help make your buildings more comfortable and efficient. And so we really appreciate your participation in our programs. So Sonia, you want to provide one more update?
Thank you, Jill. On the building automation front, so Logue, I think that project is completed. It's just awaiting an inspection. And then Boonville High School, we're waiting on completion on that project, but it has been added to. There's going to be some other high-efficiency items going in that are not even included in that almost $70,000 number. So we just look forward to the partnership and the continued working together to get the school corporation back the incentive dollars and have more comfortable and efficient buildings.
Wonderful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, if we just endorse that over to cash. Okay, I thought it was going to Todd Armstrong, I didn't know, okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next we have a presentation by Dr. Gresham. You wish any intro?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Mrs. Glover. We are just about ready to start our very busy hiring season. So I asked Dr. Gresham if he could take just a few minutes to explain kind of what that process looks like and all the things that go into the decision-making when it comes to how we determine where and when and how we hire staff. Dr. Gresham.
Thank you, Dr. Redmond. Thank you, Board, for giving me an opportunity to run through some of the highlights of what the hiring season looks like in the Human Resource Department. As you're well aware, hiring season doesn't really stop anymore. We hire all year round, and we have hires at every single school board meeting. However, the bulk of our hiring is done in the spring in anticipation of getting ready for the next school year. There are several steps to our hiring season, and the first step is obviously retirements and resignations. Those come in throughout the year. As soon as school starts, it seems like we're starting to get retirements and resignations, some of them effective at the end of the semester, some effective at the end of the school year, and some effective immediately. And so we keep track of all those, obviously, and that's obviously the first starting point is we have to determine if we're going to fill positions after we get retirements and resignations, and that's where the second step comes in, our staffing meetings. So we will meet as a group with the principals of the secondary schools, our middle schools and high schools, and we'll have a meeting and we'll look at what are your needs, what do enrollments look like in your building. This teacher that resigned, is this a position that we have to replace? The teacher that retired, is this a position that we have to replace? And perhaps even if you didn't have any retirements or resignations, you may need more staff based on enrollment trends. And we'll have the exact same meeting with our elementary principals. Looking at your first graders that are going to second grade, and how many second grade teachers you have, second going to third, and how many third grade teachers you have. Consider the retirements and resignations. Are those all positions that we need to replace? Is there an opportunity maybe to save some because of declining enrollments? Or even if you didn't have any retirements and resignations, due to growing enrollments, you might need more positions. So those happen at the staffing meetings. We have those staffing meetings scheduled for the end of February and the middle of March, respectively, for our secondary and elementary. And so that's the second step, is our staffing meetings. Once we get done with the staffing meetings, we'll determine what positions we're going to post. Obviously, all those go on our website. Some of the more difficult to fill positions also get posted to Indeed or on the Principals Association website or the IDOE website. We post positions multiple places so that we can cast a wide net to try to get as many candidates as we can. Following the posting, principals determine who they are going to interview for these positions. And when I say principals, we do the same thing with our managers. Shanae, Gary, Brian, we do the same types of things of trying to fill those positions as well. But right now, a lot of our focus is on the certified positions, so that's why, that's gonna be what's addressed mainly in this presentation. Post positions, decide who they're going to interview. In many cases, they interview every candidate. We give 5 to 10 candidates. Most of our principals will want to interview every single candidate. If the candidates get above 10, sometimes still 11, 12 to 15, they may decide to interview every candidate so they can see. But we have some positions where we will get 50 to 60 candidates, and it's not feasible to interview every candidate in those cases. But they do interview a lot of candidates for all these positions. Following the interview, the all-important reference checks. So that's always an important part. Not only does it follow board policy, but it follows state law to do reference checks. So we always do the reference checks. And after the reference checks, then they can make a recommendation. Following the recommendation, of course, those come to the school board. The school board does the hiring, and then we will onboard all of those candidates. And onboarding, of course, there are several steps to onboarding. There's the paperwork, the background check part, but then there's also the orientation and the training. So, and sometimes orientation and training can take an entire semester of encouragement, supports, what do they need to become a successful educator. So that's the kind of the steps that we go through, and it's a long process, but it's a very thorough process and one that we're pretty proud of. I think we do a pretty good job here. Just by the numbers, you can see that in 2025, so this is starting in January, going all the way through December in 2025, that we hired 68 certified teachers, including 10 for this second semester. So some of those hires were towards the end of the semester to start fresh this semester, or starting late in the second semester in some cases. Administrators, you see non-certified, part-time versus full-time. And something that I realized when I was going through and counting these numbers is that some of the numbers aren't included there because we have dominoes. I'm going to explain what I mean by dominoes. We had a situation where Tecumseh High School principal in June let us know that he was not going to be coming back. So after going through the process, we decided to hire the counselor at Boonville High School, Mrs. Gladish. So Mrs. Gladish became the principal, and so we had to hire a counselor for Boonville High School. So we posted that position, and we ended up hiring Mr. Wadgen, who was a computer teacher at Castle North. So he got moved over, and then we had to post that position. And when we posted that position, we hired Mr. Parker, who was a computer teacher at Castle South. So then we moved him over, and we had to post that position. And when we posted that position, we hired Mrs. Butcher, who was a 5th grade teacher at Newburgh Elementary. So then we moved her over and had to post that position. And when we posted that position, we ended up hiring Mrs. Kirsch, who was a 4th grade teacher at Yankeetown Elementary. And so we moved her over and had to post that position. And when we posted that position, we hired Mrs. Cobb, who was from out of the district.
There we go. Finally got somebody out of the district. I was wondering how far we're going to go with this here.
There were 7 names in there that ended up, but only 2 of those are counted. Mrs. Gladish as the administrator and Mrs. Cobb. So maybe my numbers up here aren't the whole story, but I want to explain that happens frequently. We have people that want to move around, and we have some excellent educators, so frequently they are the candidate that gets selected for the next position, and so we post another position. So, and the substitutes. Last year there were 264 people who applied to be substitutes in one manner or another. Sometimes they apply to be program assistant substitutes, sometimes they only want to work in our nurses' offices as a substitute. Many of them apply to be substitutes for our teachers. And of the 264, 148 actually completed the process. Sometimes they apply, we send them the onboarding, and either they don't do anything at that point, or they may do part of it, but not complete everything that they need to do to become a substitute. But we did hire 148 new substitutes last year. So those are just some of the figures of things that go on in the Human Resource Office with regard to hiring throughout the school year.
Questions for Doug?
Yeah, so when you're doing the references, you're also going and doing criminal background checks and things like that, right? That's not just calling their references, you're going beyond that.
So the criminal background check is done after the hire is made.
Okay,
So that's because it costs
too much to do all.
to do all, if it was all 11 candidates. We're going to do the one after the hire is made, but of course they have to pass that background check before they can actually get started.
And my question is, what if they don't pass background? You start all over?
Yes, they won't be hired. Yeah, we'll have to come back and we'll have to say, going to try again.
I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
maybe just a concept. So how, from a taxpayer standpoint, how do you manage, you know, sometimes numbers are up, so you staff up, and then maybe enrollment goes down, or there's other needs. Do you ever, you know, staff down? How do we manage that? And what's your reaction to that? It's just making sure we're staying lean, but there's a balance between efficiency and support for our kids and the other students or teachers in the buildings.
Certainly, and that happens every year. The situation that you're describing does happen every year. And we try to deal with that through attrition,
Okay,
because in most buildings, we're gonna have a retirement or a resignation. And so that position, if we are what you might call an overstaffed
Okay.
situation, then we'll just not fill that position, and hopefully that will fix it.
okay,
But every year that I've been here, we've also had to do some involuntary transfers. Because, now, some of those turn into voluntary transfers, and I'll explain.
Yeah.
But if we have a situation where, just as you described, enrollment's gone down.
Yeah.
So let's say we have one too many fourth grade teachers in this building. Then what we do is we meet with all the elementary teachers in that building that are licensed to teach fourth grade, and we say, hey, we're in an excess teacher situation here. But we have positions open here, 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 and here, and we're looking for volunteers who would like to transfer to one of those buildings. Most of the time, we get a volunteer,
gotcha,
and that takes care of our excess teacher situation.
okay,
And in some cases, it ends up being a win-win situation, because this teacher has actually wanted to get into this building. Maybe they live close to that, or they have kids, their kids go there or are going to be going to there.
Yeah.
And this gives them an opportunity to go over there.
okay, very good,
It works out well most of the time.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gresham.
Okay, next agenda item, number 7, consideration of routine business. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. The routine business this evening includes approving the minutes of the school board meeting held on January 29th, 2026, and approving the claims and signing the docket. I recommend the board approve the routine items as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Wilhelmus, seconded by Mr. Mosby to approve routine business. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next agenda item, number 9, consideration of items for board action. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. This evening, we have 2 donations for Tecumseh High School. The first is a $500 donation from Hart Township to be used to help families in need. And the second is a $700 donation from Sierra Cormier Centerpoint Energy Benevity Program. Funds will be used to purchase equipment or supplies for the Tecumseh Future Braves basketball teams. I recommend the board approve the donations as presented.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Baker, seconded by Mrs. Wilson to approve the donations as presented. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next agenda item, consideration of personnel recommendation. Dr. Gresham.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. The Human Resources Office has the following business to bring before the board tonight. Agenda item 10.1, consideration of employment, non-certified staff. Ashley Fromdahl, 3.0 hour cafeteria position at Castle High School. Don Boren, cafeteria float. Jenna Tiemann, program assistant at John H. Castle Elementary School.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Mosby, seconded by Mr. Skinner to approve non-certified staff. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Agenda item 10.2, consideration of employment, Jason Simpson, substitute teacher.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wilhelmus, seconded by Mr. Skinner to approve certified staff? No.
Substitute staff.
Substitute teacher. Okay. Any discussion besides that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Agenda item 10.3, I ask the board to approve the following leaves and the discretion to modify such leaves if reasonable circumstances exist. Bailey Waddle, cafeteria float. Mary App, Program Assistant, Boonville Middle. Noel Harada, 4.75-hour cafeteria position at Castle High. Rocky Bays, bus driver. Addison Patton, Program Assistant at Yankeetown Elementary. Tyler Kissel, special education teacher at Oakdale Elementary. Teresa Connor, 3.5-hour cafeteria position at Castle South. Stephen Hess, bus aide. Amanda Smith, English teacher at Castle South. Matt Foose, special education teacher at Boonville High. And Mackenzie Vlad, science teacher at Boonville High.
Motion to approve the leaves as stated.
Second. I have a motion by Mr. Eigner, seconded by Mrs. Wilhelmus to approve the leaves. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Agenda item 10.4, report of early return. Lisa Keithers, special education teacher at Oakdale Elementary School, has filed appropriate paperwork to return early from a previously approved leave of absence. 10.5, resignations. Whitney Skinner, temporary program assistant, AM only at Logue Elementary School, resignation effective February 6, 2026. Pamela Camp, bus driver, resignation effective January 23rd, 2026. Dominique Cosby, varsity girls tennis coach at Castle High School, resignation effective February 2nd, 2026. Travis Schaefer, custodian at Castle South Middle School, resignation effective February 3rd, 2026. Mesa Stillwell, kindergarten teacher at Logue Elementary School, resignation effective February 20th, 2026. And 10.6, retirements. Tad Palace, assistant principal at Boonville High School, retirement effective June 5th, 2026. Mary Tubbs, first grade teacher at Logue Elementary School, retirement effective May 21st, 2026. Jenna Miles, first grade teacher at Logue Elementary School, retirement effective May 21st, 2026. And Jill Olson, science teacher at Castle High School, retirement effective May 21st, 2026.
Thank you, Dr. Gresham.
Thank you.
Next agenda item are our reports. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. We have 2 reports tonight. Our first will be from Director of Student Services, Dr. Walter Lambert.
All right, for the policy committee, we continue to review all policies and make certain they're up to date. We do have some changes coming that will be presented to the board at some point in the near future. One is with the meal charges policy. We'll have that updated and ready for the board to do first and second readings on that as well. The committee is also working on an AI policy. If you watched the Super Bowl last night, there were tons of AI commercials. So we are in the midst of doing that, but we got a little ways to go. We need to get some conversations with teachers about that. Policy as well, going forward, just to make certain we have input from everybody as we move towards the AI. It is something that's very important, and we need to have a policy that kind of helps keep some guardrails up as we go forward with it. Just from my office, need to know, we have sent out a second McKinney-Vento housing questionnaire. We are required by the federal government and the state government to do that twice a year. We do it in the beginning when people re-enroll through the process online, and then we do it again here second semester, and we send that out. That helps us identify any kid that's homeless, and if they need services, we can give them services. Most of the time, those services are done through transportation and through food services. So we will transport kids that are ours that might be in a shelter in Evansville, and so we do a lot to get that transportation taken care of. And the second thing, in early April, we're gonna open up the non-resident transfer at that time. So we will get that information out. People ask all the time, like, do we take everybody, or can we say no? We can say no to kids that have poor attendance and poor discipline, so we can do that. We can't do it based on test scores or academics, but we can do it for discipline and attendance. So that's all I have tonight.
Where does that get sent out to?
Who does that get sent? We just put it
It's
on,
posted.
Post it on the website?
post it on the side,
Okay.
yeah, then we're gonna try to do a little more other various avenues of letting people know that we have that availability.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't people want to come to Warwick County Schools,
Right on,
right?
yeah.
We're ready. We'll take
All
you.
right.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lampert.
Our second report tonight is from Mr. Jason Fisher, Director of Learning.
Good evening. Happy to be before the board and report a little bit on what we've been discussing during the Student Learning and Growth Committee, and also to give you an update on some big events that we have coming up in Warwick County. As we were just talking there about having students come to Warwick County and promoting being in Warwick County, I wanted to make the board aware that our annual kindergarten roundup at our 10 elementary schools will be occurring March 2nd through March the 6th, that first week in March. We have all of our information about registration for the 2026 roundup on our corporation website under our parent tab. So we're really looking forward to that week, and our elementary schools are already working on getting the registration packets and the information ready for parents. In the Department of Learning, due to the inclement weather, I've talked to the board just a little bit about, in the state of Indiana this year, for the first time, it is mandated that all schools in grades 3 through 8 administer the checkpoints, which are a formative assessment in English language arts and in math. When we were out due to the inclement weather, the actual checkpoint 2 window closed. So the Indiana Department of Ed has extended those windows, and so we're going to be concluding checkpoint 2 window this week. Just for the board's reference, there are 3 checkpoint windows throughout the course of the year for students in grades 3 through 8. Those assessments are roughly 30 to 45 minutes in length. Once that checkpoint window closes, we will go automatically into the 3rd checkpoint window, which will conclude on April 10th. The reason that concludes on April 10th is because the iLearn summative window will open after that. Also, in the first week of March, our 3 Warwick County School Corporation high schools will be administering the SAT school day on Wednesday, March the 4th. On Wednesday, March the 4th, we administer SAT school day to only our students who are in the 11th grade or juniors, and that is part of a state requirement for our accountability metric for the high schools. In the fall, we administer the PSAT 8, 9, and the NMSQT, but that is for students in grades 9, 10, and 11. This assessment on Wednesday, the March 4th, that will only be for our juniors. Our freshmen, our sophomores will not be taking part in that assessment. Also, within that first week in March, the elementary school is going to be really busy because in addition to kindergarten roundup, we have the iRead testing window, which will open March 2nd and will conclude on Friday, March 13th. So we're really excited about all these opportunities for our students to demonstrate their academic achievement. And I know our teachers are really working hard at this time. A couple other things that we have going on in the Department of Learning. Remember at our last board meeting, the Board of Trustees considered our ELA adoption for grades K through 5 for the 26-27 academic year, and some of those trainings will be beginning at the end of February. We will be training grades K and 5 that last week in February, in addition to grades 1 and 4. Due to some shuffling, we had to push the grades 2 and 3 training to Monday, March the 16th, but we did that with some intentionality because that is when the iRead window is closed, and those grades predominantly impacted by the iRead window are grades 2 and 3. At this time, does the board have any questions for me as it relates to anything that is going on with our standardized assessments or training from the Department of Learning? One thing I did want to remind the board of: this Wednesday, February 11th, we're having our Warwick County School Corporation Professional Development Day. I've seen many of the agendas for many of the sessions going on at our schools and really excited about those. I know the Department of Learning will be working with several schools at the elementary and middle school levels, anywhere from E&L teachers, our English as New Language. We have a session that day. We're going to be meeting together as ag teachers. Our elementary music teachers will be meeting. We also have some trainings going on out at the schools. Any questions you all have for me? Yes?
So the tests we had, the 3 tests we had during the year, that information is shared back with the teachers, correct? And then it's used to help prepare their kids, the students, so that when they get to the final tests, they're better prepared. Is that?
Yes, that is exactly right. In those grades 3 through 8, these are formative assessments, short assessments to give us an idea how students are performing on those essential standards. Not only does that information go to the teachers within 24 hours, we now have the iLearn Parent Portal, which is available to parents where they can log in using their credentials and they too can see their child's progress on these windows throughout the year. And they get those results in real time as well. This is the first year that we've had that availability for the iLearn portal. So that'll be good for iRead scores, checkpoints, and the iLearn summative.
Those get mailed to the parents too still, or just a letter sending them to the website?
Are you referring
The checkpoints and,
about the information on how to access the portal?
so the results from that checkpoint, is that get sent home to the parents to review, hey, here's your kid's progress, they're on track, or do they or they need to get pointed to a website to see that?
Yeah, most of our schools, and I want to be sure that I'm answering this correctly, most of our schools send those home, but they don't mail them. They send those home with the students. A lot of them send them home with their agenda books at the elementary level or send them home at the middle school level. Now, sometimes, with a middle school kid, I have one in 6th grade, and I've not seen a single thing. And I know Mrs. Lindar sent them home with him. They're at the bottom of that locker. I'll see how I did on checkpoint 1 in May. But with that being said, they share that with the students that take those home by and large. But I do want to clarify, we're directing all of our parents to this portal so they can see that in real time. To mail all of that home 3 times a year and plus a summative will get quite expensive. So we have that parent portal. I know with our title schools, we have 8 title schools, we only have 1 parent that does not receive email correspondence from the school. So they have the ability to get that. We've been working really hard to improve that communication with parents. In addition, now all of our enrollment is online, so I think that's helped that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you.
Mrs. Glover, I had just a couple of announcements. We always have so many amazing things going on at the schools throughout a week, but just one thing to highlight this week, on this Thursday, February 12th, we have the Castle Show Choirs Preview Night. That's at 6:30 at the Castle High School Auditorium. And then I know Mr. Baker talked about this last meeting, but again, on February 21st, we have the For the Love of Books celebration, which is at Friedman Park. All money raised through that event, all proceeds will go to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library here in Warwick County. So that's a great event. And if you're free that night, I think there's still a couple of days left for you to register for that event. And then looking ahead to March, we are having our second district level parent series, partnering with Youth First. So last semester, if you remember, we had Castle South hosted for us and we did a digital, safety kind of presentation. So this topic for the month of March, it will be on March 10th at Boonville Middle School. They're hosting for us this time, is called Stress versus Distress. And they will be talking about the difference between stress and distress, when stress becomes distress, and what parents can do to help support their children. So that is open to all Warwick County families, K through 12, and all parents will be sent an invite with this flyer through Synergy email. So
Very good.
mark your calendars for that.
Approximately how many families participate in these events?
The one we had the district level events, the one we had last semester, I believe had around 25, was that correct, Dr. Lambert? Around 25 people came for that one. So,
Okay, excellent,
yes.
exciting. Do we have any other board business?
I just have 2 comments. One, I think sometimes people aren't aware the great lengths that Dr. Lambert and his department go to make sure that when kids come here from other districts, that they do not put our other students at risk. And I appreciate all their hard work in that, and I think it's very important. The other thing, and this is just The legislature's currently in session, and it's not a budget session. But in the spring, our state has typically ran a $2 billion surplus. That surplus is now growing past $5 billion. And as soon as this is over, they're gonna start working for the next budget session. I believe that it's imperative that we discuss with our legislators that some of that net money needs to come back to education and not find other places. You know, we lost some funding in the spring. I would expect that to come back plus. So the idea they have no money is not an excuse. They need to make where their priorities are, and I believe their priorities should be education. So please share that with all your legislators and everybody you know to talk to a legislator about that.
Thank you.
Also, what's
Committee meetings?
State Day, February 17th,
State House, yes.
State House Day is coming up, and hopefully there will be good attendance there. I know I'm not able to make it, but hopefully it will show some support from the school boards.
I think I was at ISMA, solo and ensembles this past weekend, so hopefully all the kids performed well and had success this past weekend. Our music program, every school does such a great job, so.
Yes, we have a lot
I
of
like-
talented musicians, yes. Mr. Mosby.
Mr. Mosby.
Committee.
I just want to announce
Committees.
February 24th, 7:30 in the morning at the Administration Building. The Construction Committee will be meeting. And then the Personnel Committee will be meeting in this building on March the 9th at 6:15. That's all I have.
I just wanted to make give a little shout out to our cheerleaders. I was in Florida with my daughter and all of her friends, and so it was the first time that the Boonville High School cheer team had competed at nationals, and they had their best score ever. They didn't advance as far as they wanted to, but they showed up very well. It was good for them. And then my brother's there now with the Castle team,
Yes.
and they did very well. I think they advanced even further. So it was good to see some. Okay, fifth place. There you go.
Mr. Hood is
Yeah.
signaling to us.
And I would tell you, I mean, you're talking hundreds
Yes.
of teams, and you know Disney, it was crazy. So those
Yeah.
kids are all they travel well.
Yeah.
Warwick County kids travel well.
They do, they do.
Any other committee meetings?
We have a Student Growth and Learning Committee is at February 25th at 11:10, 7:30. Okay, we changed the time. Sorry, 7:30 on the 25th at the admin building. And then policy, we will announce that later. We're working on that one. Thank you.
Our next meeting, board meeting will be February 23rd. We have a work session scheduled at 5:30, followed by the board meeting at 7 p.m. I'm letting you guys off easy. There's no legislative update.
Oh man.
I think I'll just wait and we'll just see what happens after the close of session. I will be going to State House Day and
Thank you for
be letting our thoughts be known. Interesting to hear their side of the story when we get to tell ours. I would like to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Watch out for Cupid. I will be wearing helmet and a shield. So, hope everyone has a safe evening, safe trip, and meeting's adjourned.